Welcome to this week's episode. I thought that this would be a good opportunity for me to go over the spreadsheets. A number of my Facebook group had requested them, and if you have not yet and you would just like to have a better idea of how I put these together, I try to make this as comprehensible as possible so that you can track both your income and your expenses. Now, if you are using a program like QuickBooks, great. And I think that if you are an S Corp or a partnership, you definitely want to use a bookkeeping system like QuickBooks. And also, due to the more complexity, working with a professional bookkeeper is definitely the way to go. But many groomers are starting small. It's just themselves, and they are working to try to get their income and their expenses together so that they can file their tax return, whether it's their first year or they are just a small business. They plan to stay in that way, and they just want to be better prepared. And the reasons why you want to be able to track your expenses is that it will actually help you go forward so you know where your money is going, because a lot of times with any small business you have a feeling that there's a lot more money going out than money coming in, and this way, by keeping track of it, you're able to see, oh, okay, during January, look how much I spent on supplies, or look how my expenses have been increasing each month. Why are they increasing? And when you have this, it helps. It also helps for you to budget. Now, one of the things that you will want to look into doing too is that if you are selling any kind of retail, I don't have this covered in my spreadsheets. I do have a separate one that I can provide for you. But you want to keep track of that, because just because you have inventory doesn't mean that you can expense everything that you purchased in the year if you haven't sold everything. If you are familiar with the term cost of goods sold, that really just means that you are expensing what you had purchased for the business or any expenses that you had. So if you are only selling a couple of items, it's not as difficult. But if you kind of have a storefront besides the grooming, you really want to keep track of that. And technically, if you have something like that, you really should be using a program online like QuickBooks or something that has an inventory program attached to it. Now, you definitely want to record every transaction with as much precision, and you want to categorize your expenses and identify where you can save money going forward. And with having a properly formatted spreadsheet, and also you want to be able to monitor your financial positioning and performance. You're going to see during the year, you're going to have months where you're going to have higher income. This definitely is possible from the holidays starting in with Halloween going all the way through Christmas, and then you may have a couple of slow months. So this way, if you see where your income is going during those months that you are making more income, you'll want to be able to budget so it helps you during those slower months. And what we're going to do is we are going to start with going through each of the two spreadsheets. I'm going to do a presentation on both of them just to see, because there was just a little bit of variations and areas where you'll want to have a little bit more attention to. So I'm going to start with the salon version of what I've done. And I've done these for a couple of years. I do try to keep up with any kinds of changes, adding new categories as something that I think about originally. I realize, yes, definitely. So we're going to start with the demo version for the salon. And this will also include the home salon. I try to update these each year because there are some changes, especially with different rates. And so we're going to start with the demo version of the salon. And this would include a home salon. This is for your 220 this is for the 2023 tax year, and I will be working on the 2024 so that if this is something that you are finding helpful for 2023, you can also let me know of your interest for 2024. There are some things that I will still be waiting for. This can be for any changes that we may have that are not present until sometimes the end of the tax year. This could include like the mileage rate and stuff like that. I have the top listed of all the different income, whether you are receiving cash, check receipts, and credit card receipts. I did italicize this with the idea that if a client is paying you by credit card, likely it's going to be the gross of what you are receiving. And that can include any tips that you're getting as well as any sales tax that they may be paying when they are using your services. So for the tip income, my suggestion is do not break up your credit card receipts and pull out the tip. Just keep them all together. Use the tip income when you are pretty much cash or check. My concern mainly is that if you have the tips already listed here, you don't want to also add them here because then it's doubling your income for a tip. So you don't want to do that. Now, keep in mind that if you're using something like Square or Venmo, they are going to likely take out any fees before it landing in your bank. You'll want to keep track of your sales report for that as well. So my suggestion is for your credit card receipts that you're using through Square or Venmo, put the gross amount that you are getting from your client, not what is landing in your bank account. And then what you're going to do is when you have the expenses going down, here we have the CC fees, and you'll put these here, and these will be your business expenses here. And the other thing is you'll also have the sales tax. So if you're including sales tax with here, you can deduct it. If you don't include sales tax, like it's possible if they're paying you cash or checks, if that's not included here, then you can't take the deduction. And like I had mentioned, I am going to be doing a video within the next week or so on the allowable and most ordinary and necessary expenses that you will find as a pet grooming business, whether you are mobile or salon. So these are often the most common expenses that I have seen. And if you go on down, I did break it up. Here I have in yellow. This is if you have a home salon, like if you are using a room in your home, or if you have set up in your garage, or you have a shed, etc. Use that here. But if you have a commercial property, then you're going to put those expenses here because there will be a different way of calculating these out. And if you actually go down, you're going to see where you will want to put the total square footage of your home and then the square footage of your home office salon. If you are using your garage as your salon, you'll want to include your total footage of your home with the garage. If, however, you are using a room, you can just put everything minus the garage in there and then the amount here, because it will be a variation in the percentage that you're allowed to claim. These again are the most common expenses that I have seen that I have added in here. You can definitely go down through here. You'll have different things like your travel. These are your accommodations. Then for meals that you are when you're going to a grooming event or something like that, put the full amount. This way that whether you are doing your own tax return or you're going to bring this to your tax preparer, they are going to want to know the total amount, not the 50% amount. So put that total amount there. And here I have a few lines where you can just add an expense that might not be included there. It's possible that you may have purchased a piece of equipment and you're not too sure, so you can add that over here. Now you can definitely add more one great thing is that because it's on Google Sheets, and if you find that you do need to add some things more, you can reach out to me by sending a comment and I can add some lines for you. But you can also add a line yourself. So if you just go up or down, and you can add that over here. And then you would just want to make sure to copy the formula and then put that over here. And then over here, you can put expenses that were not already categorized. So pretty much I have tried to put it in so that it will all be put this here. So you can add whatever you have over here, and then you don't want to touch these because these are all calculated out. If you put in an amount here, but then you change it over here, it's not going to, you may miss expenses, and I don't want you to have to do that. So just to bring this down, so if you use your vehicle for business purposes, you can keep track of it by putting in your total mileage over here. So you will want to have a, whether it's a mileage log or if you get something like Mile IQ, which I think is a great thing to have, especially if you have a salon and you're not putting that much mileage. So then you can actually look at the end of the year of how many miles you may have done for business. And then let's say you did 1,000 miles. If you put that there, it automatically calculates that out. Here we have your home office, and then also you want to keep track of your estimated tax payments that you are making, whether it's for the IRS or for the state. So by having, just by entering the amounts, the dates that you paid here, so you're going to put the amounts here, and then this way, when you're making the payments, you can give this to the tax preparer and to make sure that it is being credited to your account by having it on your tax return. So next, we're going to the mobile. So here we have the mobile version, and pretty much most of it is the same. There are just a couple of changes. You will have the home office because usually when you are mobile, you don't have a stationary spot as you would when you have a commercial property. So you're going to be using the same thing. Again, my suggestion is to put the total amounts that you are paying for each of these expenses. Keep your bills together. And then this way is something that you can provide as backup to your tax preparer. But put the total amounts there, and then again, you're going to have this where you're going to set this up. And this will most likely be an actual space that you are using as a home office. Now, pretty much with the IRS, the space that you use as a home office really should be used exclusively as a office. It should not be used as storage for your personal belongings. It should not be used as a guest bedroom. So you want to keep that definitely separate so that, and it's not unusual that if there are issues that the IRS can actually request a home inspection. They will want to see that, okay, this room is used as an office. So you're going to put the same amount there. This you'll use the mobile version. You can use whether you have a mobile grooming business or you are house call. And my suggestion is that when you are house call, to probably take the mileage. Just keep track of that. Again, like I said, you want to have a mileage log, something that shows where you are traveling every day and the purpose. Like if you are going to see a particular client, you'll want the mileage from your home because it's your home office. By having a home office set up, it'll be from your home to your that client, and then it depends if you're headed back home again or if you're going to another. So you definitely want to keep track of that. For mobile groomers, especially those of you that have a mobile van or you have a trailer and a tow vehicle, it is better actually to do your actual expenses. You'll get a better deduction. And the thing is that you're also going to be having more repairs because you're going to be using your vehicle a lot more. You're going to be working in the vehicle, and if you are not able to use it, that kind of hurts your bottom line because that is your salon. So that's one reason why I definitely think to have the actual expenses. So you'd want to put how much you're spending in fuel, your vehicle insurance. If you have a loan, you're able to deduct the interest on the loans, not the principals, maintenance, if you have propane and repairs. And another expense that you will have, but it's not listed on this sheet, is a depreciation expense. And the reason why I did not include that is because depending on when you put the item into service, there are different depreciation methods that you can take. You can almost consider that if you have perhaps a grooming van, you're going to have a lot of these expenses, and even though you'll have your net income here, you will likely have a lower reportable net income if you do have depreciation that you can take. Again, I have the estimated tax payments here, the home office here. Now, one thing to be aware of, and like I said, if you're an S Corp, it is better to use QuickBooks because it will provide some financial statements that would be more looked upon by a bank or by the IRS or whatever else, and you'll have a balance sheet as well as a profit and loss. I definitely go over there because as a S corp, you can't take home office expenses in the same way as if you are a non S corp. You actually need to have the business reimburse you for some of these expenses, and you would need to set up what we call an accountable plan. That just means that you are documenting how much you should be reimbursed for particular expenses that are related to your home office. So that is pretty much the main difference with that. Again, if this is something that you would like, please let me know, and I will give you a link of how you can request this. And if this is something that you can also see somebody else benefiting, please share it, and I would definitely appreciate that. Email address, as well as whether you would like the mobile version or the salon version. And it is my plan to get these out, at least it'll be within 48 hours that you requested that I will send you the sheet. It is very important that you type out your email correctly, because if there is a typo, then you won't get it. I will just get a alert that this did not go through. Because I will be sending these through Google Drive, is where I have put these together. Having a Gmail or a email associated with Google Suites will make the transition a lot easier. If you have another email, it's possible that you may not be able to get it. So if you have a Gmail, that would definitely work the best. So don't forget, of course, like this video. If this video was helpful to you, share it with someone else. If you have any comments on this video, or if you have suggestions for a future video, please let me know. And subscribe to this channel. I am pretty much offering these spreadsheets free of charge, but by subscribing and liking and watching this video as well as my other videos will actually help me. So I just want to close this with reminding you of your beneficial owner information reporting for your LLC or corporation. I will, like I said, I'm going to do this reminder every week so that you will be prepared. And by the end of the year, if you had a LLC prior to December 31st of 2023, you have done your reporting. I have done a video on this. Please look through the list, and I'll also have this linked as a video for you to watch so you can do it. I have already gotten quite a few positive results that by seeing the demo that I have done that they were able to do it on their own. So these are some of the deadlines again. So again, if you set up your LLC or your corporation before January 1st of 2024, you actually have through the end of the year. If you are only setting up in 2024, you are have a shorter time period of only 90 days, and then starting next year it will only be 30 days. Also, if you have any changes, just like if you would have a change where you have to let the state know, this could be a change in ownership, it could be a change in address, you need to have the changes done within 30 days. Again, I hope this helped, and I will see you next week. I am going to go a little bit more into the different deductions that you can take as a pet grooming business, and I hope that you join me at that time.